Attachment leads to jealousy, the shadow of greed, that is. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
Have you ever held on so tightly to a dream job, a relationship, or even a perfect plan that when it slipped away, it left you shattered? Picture this. You're in your mid-30s, climbing the career ladder, but suddenly a layoff hits. Or maybe you're 60, reflecting on years of clinging to past regrets, feeling weighed down. That grip, it creates anxiety, blocks new opportunities, and steals your peace. We all face these moments where attachment turns into suffering, don't we? It whispers doubts, fuels fear, and keeps us stuck in what-ifs. Today, we'll uncover the Law of Detachment. At the end, we'll explore the real success story of Viktor Frankl, a story that truly embodies the law discussed in this video. If this sparks something in you already, hit that subscribe button now to join our community of seekers unlocking timeless wisdom. Like this video if you're ready for more inspiration, and drop a comment below. What's one thing you're holding on to too tightly? Your shares help spread these life-changing insights.
Introduction to the Law. The Law of Detachment, a profound principle that teaches us to release our emotional grip on outcomes, people, and possessions without losing our passion or drive. At its core, it's about finding freedom by letting go of what we can't control, allowing life to flow naturally. Why does this matter? In a fast-paced world like ours, especially in American culture where individualism and achievement reign, we often tie our self-worth to success metrics, jobs, relationships, or material wins. But when things don't go as planned, that attachment breeds stress and disappointment. Think about your own life. Have you noticed how clinging to a specific result in your career leaves you exhausted? Or how holding grudges in relationships erodes your joy? The Law of Detachment counters this by promoting inner peace and resilience. It connects to our shared human experience of change. Seasons shift, people come and go, opportunities evolve. By embracing it, you open doors to clarity for young adults navigating uncertainty, balance for mid-career folks juggling demands, and contentment for mature adults building legacies. It's not about apathy, it's about empowered living. The essence of the law. The Law of Detachment simply states that true freedom comes from releasing expectations and attachments while staying fully engaged in the present. This universal truth influences every aspect of life, empowering you to respond with wisdom rather than react with fear, fostering unbreakable resilience across relationships, careers, and personal growth. How the law operates. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves and really unpack this Law of Detachment. Imagine we're sitting across from each other over coffee, and I'm sharing this like an old friend who's been through the trenches. You know, the kind who wants you to avoid the pitfalls they've stumbled into. So, how does this law actually work? It's not some mystical secret. It's grounded in logic, philosophy, and even psychology. We'll break it down step by step, starting with its foundations, then moving into how it plays out in your everyday life. By the end, you'll see why letting go isn't about giving up. It's about gaining control in the smartest way possible. First, let's talk about the logical foundation. Philosophically, the Law of Detachment draws from ancient wisdom traditions like Stoicism and Buddhism, but it also aligns with modern psychology. Think of the Stoics, folks like Epictetus or Marcus Aurelius, who taught that we can't control external events, only our responses to them. Epictetus said something like, "It's not what happens to you, but how you interpret it that matters." That's detachment in a nutshell, separating your inner peace from outer chaos. Scientifically, psychology backs this up through concepts like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Studies show that when we attach our happiness to outcomes, like a promotion or a perfect relationship, we trigger the brain's stress response, flooding us with cortisol. But detachment rewires that. It activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking and emotional regulation. In nature, we see this too. Picture a tree in a storm. It bends with the wind, detaching from rigidity, so it doesn't snap. Rivers flow around obstacles without clinging, they adapt and keep moving. Society mirrors this. Economies boom and bust, but resilient communities detach from panic and innovate forward. It's universal logic. Attachment creates resistance, while detachment creates flow. Now, shifting to human application, let's make this real for you. In relationships, detachment means loving deeply without possessing. Have you ever been in a partnership where you clung so hard out of fear of loss that it pushed the other person away? That's attachment breeding jealousy or control. Detachment lets you appreciate the person as they are, right now, without demanding they stay forever. Psychologically, this reduces codependency. Research from the American Psychological Association shows detached individuals report higher relationship satisfaction because they're not basing their self-worth on the other's actions. Apply it. Next time you're arguing with a spouse or friend, pause and ask, what if I release my need to be right? Feel that shift? It's freeing. In your career, especially for you young adults in your 20s and 30s facing uncertainty, detachment is a game changer. You're hustling for that dream job, but if you attach your identity to it, I must get this promotion or I'm a failure, rejection hits like a truck. Instead, pour your energy into the process. Networking, skill building, showing up fully, but detach from the outcome. Studies in positive psychology, like those from Martin Seligman, show this builds resilience. People who practice detachment bounce back faster from setback. For mid-career folks in your 40s, juggling work-life balance, think about emotional intelligence. Detachment helps you let go of work stress at home. Imagine ending your day by mentally releasing unfinished tasks. Your mind clears, sleep improves, and you show up sharper tomorrow. Even in emotions and mindset, detachment operates like a mental filter. Anxiety often stems from attaching to worst-case scenarios. What if I fail? Psychology calls this catastrophizing. Detach by observing thoughts without owning them. Mindfulness practices, rooted in Buddhist philosophy, prove this reduces depression symptoms by up to 30% per meta-analyses in JAMA Psychiatry. Let's pause here for a quick reflection. Take 5 to 10 seconds. Think about a recent worry. How has attaching to it affected your energy? See, that's the law in action. By reflecting, you're detaching from autopilot thinking. Diving deeper, consider how detachment handles change, a constant in our lives. In society, look at American history. The Great Depression taught detachment. People let go of material attachments and found community strength. Today, with tech disruptions like AI changing jobs, those who detach from the way things were adapt quickest. Philosophically, it's about impermanence. Nothing lasts, so why grip so tight? In psychology, attachment theory, from John Bowlby, explains our innate need for security, but unhealthy attachments lead to avoidance or anxiety styles. Detachment balances that, fostering secure bonds where you trust life's flow. For mature adults in your 50s to 80s, building legacies, detachment means releasing ego-driven goals. You've achieved much, but clinging to past glories can block contentment. Instead, detach and mentor others. Pass on wisdom without needing credit. Nature example. Seasons detach. Autumn leaves fall so spring can bloom. Apply it personally. In health, detach from fearing illness by focusing on daily wellness habit. Emotions? When grief hits, detach from the pain's grip by honoring memories without drowning in them. Mini challenge. This week, identify one attachment in work, love, or habits, and practice releasing it for a day. Journal how it feels. You'll notice lighter shoulders, clearer decisions. The law operates by shifting your focus from control to acceptance, from fear to freedom. It's not passive, it's proactive wisdom. Logic shows clinging creates suffering, philosophy urges release, psychology proves it heals. In daily life, it transforms reactions into choices. We all slip, I do too, but each detachment builds that muscle. You're capable of this, it's in you. Real-world applications and impact. Now that we've explored how the law of detachment works under the hood, let's bring it home, literally. How does this play out in your world? We'll look at key areas like work, relationships, health, emotions, and spirituality, where detachment makes a real difference. I'll compare those who embrace it versus those who fight it, with examples from everyday American life. My goal? To show you the tangible impact, building that aha moment where you feel inspired to try it. We're in this together, after all. Let's see how detachment can elevate your life. Start with work and career. Huge for our achievement-driven culture. Those who know and apply detachment pursue goals fiercely but release fixation on result. They network, innovate, and pivot without ego bruises. Impact? Higher resilience, less burnout. A 2023 Gallup poll showed detached workers, those practicing mindfulness, report 20% lower stress levels. Contrast. Those ignoring it cling to titles or salaries, leading to anxiety during economic shifts like the post-pandemic job market. Remember the tech layoffs in Silicon Valley? Folks who detached quickly upskilled or started side hustles. Clingers spiraled into resentment. For young adults, 20 to 35, facing career uncertainty, detachment brings clarity. Apply by detaching from perfect path illusions, exploring options freely. Mid-career, 35 to 50? It aids work-life balance. Detach from overtime guilt, reclaim family time. Mature adults, 50 to 80? Legacy building shines. Detach from control, empower successors for lasting impact. In relationships, detachment fosters healthy bonds. Appliers love without possession, communicating openly, accepting changes. Result: deeper connections, less drama. Psychology Today articles highlight how detachment reduces jealousy, boosting trust. Those going against it? They smother or withdraw, creating cycles of conflict. Think high U.S. divorce rates tied to unmet expectations. Real example. In suburban America, a couple I know, anonymously, faced empty nest syndrome. The detached partner embraced new hobbies together. The attached one clung to old roles, straining the marriage. For you, in friendships, detach from needing constant validation. Watch authenticity grow. Emotional resonance? It eases the pain of breakups or drifts, turning loss into growth. Health-wise, detachment influences physical and mental well-being. Practitioners let go of body image obsessions, focusing on sustainable habits like walking or eating mindfully. Impact: better adherence, lower chronic stress. Harvard studies link detachment, via meditation, to reduced blood pressure. Ignorers attach to quick fixes or deny issues, worsening conditions like obesity epidemics in the U.S. Emotions are where detachment shines brightest. It helps you feel fully without being overwhelmed. Appliers navigate anger or sadness, then release, leading to quicker recovery, per emotion regulation research in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. Those resisting? They ruminate, amplifying negativity, common in fast-paced American life with social media comparisons. Impact: detachment builds a positive mindset, overcoming negative thoughts for growth. Spirituality ties in too. Detachment aligns with faiths like Christianity's let go and let God, or secular humanism's focus on inner peace. It detaches from material idols, fostering contentment and purpose. U.S. phenomena. Think wellness trends in California. Yoga retreats teach detachment for spiritual depth, contrasting consumer-driven attachments elsewhere. Comparing overall, appliers live with flow, resilient, open to opportunities, experiencing joy amid uncertainty. Ignorers suffer resistance, stuck, frustrated, missing life's gift. Emotional build. Imagine the weight lifting as you detach, peace settles in. For young adults, it means bold risks without fear paralysis. Mid-career? Emotional intelligence soars, balancing demands. Mature folks? Contentment in legacies, free from regrets. Real U.S. social example. post-2020 election divides, detached citizens engaged civilly, healing divides, attached ones fueled polarization. Light humor. Detachment is like upgrading from a clunky old phone to a sleek one, same functions but smoother, less crashes. Seriously, the impact is profound. Healthier bodies, stronger ties, fulfilling work, serene spirit. You're not alone, we all start somewhere. Embrace it and watch your life transform. Story of a great individual. Let's bring this law of detachment to life with a real story that hits close to home, especially in a world where resilience is key. Meet Viktor Frankl, an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist born in 1905 in Vienna. He lived through one of history's darkest chapters, World War II and the Holocaust. As a Jewish intellectual, Frankl was already making waves in psychology, building on ideas from Freud and Adler, when the Nazis rose to power. By the early 1940s, he had developed early concepts of what would become logotherapy, a therapy focused on finding meaning in life. But his life took a brutal turn in 1942 when he, his wife Tilly, and his parents were arrested and deported to concentration camp. The challenges Frankl faced were unimaginable, the kind that test the human spirit to its core. First sent to their Scienstadt, a ghetto camp, he endured overcrowding and disease. Then came Auschwitz in 1944, the infamous death camp where selections for gas chambers happened daily. Frankl lost his manuscript on logotherapy upon arrival, stripped of everything. He was separated from his wife, whom he never saw again. She perished in Bergen-Belsen. His parents and brother also died in the camp. Transferred to Kaufering and later Turkeyum, he faced starvation, forced labor in freezing conditions, typhus outbreaks, and the constant shadow of death. Physically, he withered to skin and bones. Emotionally, he witnessed despair claim countless lives. Prisoners around him succumbed to apathy, losing hope as their bodies and minds broke. Frankl himself battled moments of profound suffering, questioning if survival was even possible amid such horror. Yet, here's where the law of detachment shines through, even if Frankl didn't label it that way at the time. Drawing from his psychological insights, he consciously chose to detach from the external atrocities. He couldn't control the guards' cruelty, the hunger, or the losses, but he could control his inner response. Frankl focused on finding meaning in the madness. He imagined a future where he lectured on the psychology of the camps, turning his pain into purpose. He detached from immediate suffering by helping fellow inmates, offering therapy sessions in secret, encouraging them to envision life beyond the barbed wire. One powerful example. He held onto the image of his wife, using love as an anchor, not clinging to her physical presence but to the meaning she represented. Psychologically, he observed that survival often hinged on this detachment. Those who attached their will to live solely to external hopes, like liberation dates, crumbled when dashed, while those who detached and found inner meaning endured. It was, as he later wrote, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. The results? Frankl survived liberation in 1945, weighing just 80 pounds but unbroken in spirit. He returned to Vienna, learned of his family's deaths, and channeled his grief into rebuilding. In mere weeks, he dictated Man's Search for Meaning, a book blending his camp experiences with logotherapy principles. It became a global phenomenon, selling over 16 million copies and translated into 50 languages. Frankl remarried, had a daughter, and lectured worldwide until his 90s, influencing fields from psychology to business. Logotherapy helped countless people find purpose amid adversity, emphasizing that meaning can be discovered through work, love, or attitude toward suffering. What a lesson, right? Frankl's story shows that detachment isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. By releasing grip on what he couldn't change, he unlocked inner freedom, turning trauma into triumph. It resonates for us all, young adults, detach from career setbacks to find your path, Midlifers, let go of balance struggles for true harmony. Mature folks, release past attachments to craft a legacy of wisdom. As we wrap this tale, it leads us to the heart of the law's timeless wisdom. Timeless wisdom, the core message. In the dance of life, where joys and sorrows swirl like autumn leaves in the wind, the law of detachment whispers a profound truth. True liberation blooms not from holding on, but from the gentle art of letting go, freeing your spirit to embrace what truly matters, unburdened by the chains of expectation. This essence, drawn from ages of philosophy and human endurance, reminds us that detachment is the bridge to inner peace, resilience, and a life rich with meaning. We find our power not in control, but in graceful surrender to the flow. Now, let's turn the spotlight inward, friend. Take a moment, pause the hustle, and really think. How has attachment shown up in your life lately? For you in your 20s or 30s, chasing that first big break, are you gripping so tight to a specific job or outcome that it's clouding your vision for other paths? What if you detached just a bit? Would clarity emerge, letting resilience guide you through uncertainty? Mid-career warriors in your 40s, juggling deadlines and family, reflect on those late nights. Are you attached to perfection at work, sacrificing emotional balance? Imagine releasing that need. How might it free up space for deeper connections and self-care? And for our wise elders from 50 to 80 building legacies, look back, what old regrets or achievements are you still clinging to, perhaps dimming your current contentment? Detach and see how it opens doors to mentoring, joy in the now, and a peaceful heart. We all have these threads. Observe them without judgment. Ask yourself, in my relationships, am I holding on out of fear or loving freely? In my mindset, do attachments fuel anxiety, or can I let go for growth? Take 5 to 10 seconds right now to breathe and ponder one area. As we wrap up this exploration of the law of detachment, I want to say a heartfelt thank you for joining me on this journey, for opening your mind to these timeless insights. You've invested your time here, and I truly appreciate it. Together, we're building a community that values growth, wisdom, and that quiet inner strength. My wish for you? May you carry this law like a gentle compass, releasing what weighs you down to welcome peace, resilience, and a life full of meaningful achievements. In our busy American world, where individualism drives us forward, remember, detachment isn't letting go of dreams, it's freeing them to soar. If this resonated, stick around. Our next videos dive into more gems like universal laws for positive mindsets, life lessons on overcoming setbacks, and philosophies for holistic personal growth. They're crafted just for you, whether you're navigating career twists, building relationships, or seeking contentment in later years. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. What's one attachment you're ready to release? If it sparked inspiration, hit that like button, subscribe for more empowering content, and share this with someone who needs it. Your engagement keeps this wisdom flowing. Until next time, take care, stay resilient, and live freely. See you soon.